them executioners. I thought maybe they'd be like doctors or something, but the executioners. I was like, is that a job title? So it's like, is it really a job? Because the other thing about it is,
Is
it's
it really a job if you enjoy it? Is it more of a hobby?
Well, it's arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry.
Arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
He's Tom.
And he's Jerry.
Hey, Tom,
hi Jerry.
are you getting ready for your big trip to Idaho to the White Supremacist Festival, or wherever you said you were going?
Yeah,
I
I
think that's
got my bags packed and got the rifle on the rack and everything up in the back window, and got my flag perched up out there out in the back of the pickup and stuff.
what's going on. Did you have anything you wanted to argue about? I thought it'd be good to check in before you went camping with the white supremacists.
Oh, I'm tired, man. Let's see here. Yeah,
Yeah, I hear
wanted
you. I'm feeling a little slow.
I wanted to argue uh, about executioners. I was the other day. I heard on the news that they were executing a dude in Alabama, and it was novel because
Oh,
they
like nitrogen
nitrogen gas mask
didn't go
and
well.
well, and then they're saying in the news report, they're providing the background information. It's like, last time they tried to execute this particular individual, the executioners weren't able to get the IVs to stick in his arms, and so it didn't work. And so then
Sick.
I was thinking the executioners, like that's a job title. Like
Yeah,
somebody's
how do you
job
wind
is
up with that job?
right. Like in 2024, there
Yeah,
are
in the old days, maybe you got to be a big, strong guy who can swing an axe
right,
accurately or something. That makes sense.
right. Uh, so I just thought it odd, and that they are calling them executioners. I thought maybe they'd be like doctors or something, but the executioners. I was like, is that a job title? Like that's your job title, like on your resume, on your card, on your LinkedIn profile, executioner. So it's like, is it really a job? Because the other thing about it is,
Is
it's
it really a job if you enjoy it? Is it more of a hobby?
it's not work if you enjoy it. That's right.
Right.
Uh, and then there's not a lot of executing to be done. Like they only execute now and again, and so it couldn't be a full-time job.
Yeah, it's a weird field to go into.
It's like, maybe I feel like it might be something that's like an additional responsibility. Like the boss tells you, hey, you've been doing a good job selling these windows, and now I'd like for you to also sell doors. And
I'm going to add a
so
little bit to your plate, but I think you can handle it.
yeah, yeah, I think you can handle it. You're the right person for the job. It doesn't rightfully fall into like additional duties as assigned by management, kind of at the bottom of the job description. You know, where they're like, you put that in a job description because you might ask somebody like, hey, I need you to count these boxes or mop the floor, and you're expected to do
Answer
those
the
things.
phones.
Answer the phones.
You think they just sprinkle it in there? Like once a week, it's your turn to clean the bathrooms, need you to answer the phones, help the walk-in customers, and the
It,
execute prisoners.
they bury the lead a little bit. They maybe like drop it in at the bottom of a big long paragraph. And
So far,
then
so good. The interview's going great. Only one last thing
talk about
to
here. Do that.
cover.
So do you get like extra pay
I
if
would hope so. If you get extra pay to work on Christmas, You should
Hmm.
get extra pay for killing people.
Right. I was wondering, like, so if you're an executioner and you're Catholic, then do you talk about it at confession? It's like, man, I don't know how they say it, but like, hey, Father, this week I had to kill a human being in order to, fulfill my job duties. And
Go in peace, my son. You're doing the Lord's work.
okay, okay. Um,
I don't know.
then I was also wondering, it's like, so the standard by which the death penalty is considered legal or illegal is cruel and unusual punishment, I believe. Is it cruel and unusual punishment to execute someone? And then the method by which you're executing them is kind of where everybody kind of argues and haggles beyond just the executing itself.
Good
And
Lord, if you have to do it, it should be instantaneous and painless.
right, so like to me, it's like cruel and unusual punishment. So we're going to put
Yeah.
a gas mask on you, and we're going to feed nitrogen through the gas mask and deprive you of oxygen. I don't know if that's cruel. In this instance, it seemed like it took a little bit longer than it should have, but
22
it,
minutes.
it's definitely unusual.
22 minutes of his wife screaming.
She was
I
screaming.
mean, that's what I read. I didn't
Huh.
read a lot, but I did see that. I mean, I had to remind myself that this wasn't an innocent person that this was being done to, but that
Sure.
doesn't excuse causing unnecessary pain. That's just inhumane,
I don't know. I mean,
obviously.
it's cruel
That's
and
sick.
unusual. Like it is unusual to strap a gas mask to somebody and deprive them of oxygen. Like people don't die like that every day. And I was thinking, well, what's not cruel or unusual? Like a firing squad to me. Like, you know, it's
I've been
instantaneous.
hearing people talking about bringing that back.
People get shot every day in the United States of America. So you can't call it unusual. It's not an unusual punishment. People get punished by being shot probably every hour in the United States, right?
Yeah, in Chicago, I think.
Well, you know, you and your friends in the gun lobby, help make that possible. But
I
I
don't
think
do anything
I might support, if we're going to say, yeah, we're going to execute people. I think the firing squad's a better option than all these like kind of novel lethal injection, gas masks, gas chambers, whatever they do. I don't know what they do. I don't, but
Yeah. Man, it would
uh,
be so nice to not have to execute people, you know?
what are you going to do? I mean, sometimes you got to make an example. I think that it's served as a wonderful deterrent, over the years.
Because crime is so down.
Well, crime is down, but I don't know that. Um,
It's because of all the executions, you think it?
Probably
That's
it
why?
must be. It must be because of all the executions. Or
Man,
is
this
it
is a dark episode.
is it not just about being a deterrent? Is it about people's idea of justice? It's like I will not have justice until I see this guy who was hired to murder my sister is killed. Is it a justice thing, or is it meant to be a deterrent? I think it's supposed to be both. I've heard people argue that it's a deterrent, but then what I said was, "We'll prove it," and then
Well,
I
and you
had to
have to, it's
had
not
to
a
bring it back.
deterrent when you get to spend like the next 20 years, in prison, fighting it and going through the process and getting your meals. And I don't know how much of a deterrent that is. If it was like swift and immediate, like as soon as you're convicted, they take you out and it's done. That's a deterrent. That'd be
You
scary
have
as hell.
you have been sentenced to death, And when you're sentenced to death, there are no appeals. There's no appeals process. They literally walk you, your shackled ass, out of the courtroom and line you up, put you up against the wall, and shoot you. That
Yeah.
would be
I mean,
I think that would be a deterrent.
that would be a deterrent.
What's the disadvantage to that?
I guess wrongful convictions. They've happened.
Wow, yeah, the wrongful convictions are maybe a little complicate the thing. Like, that's true. I did hear that there were some wrongful convictions.
Yeah, man, this is a sick episode,
What's
which
wrong with
makes
that?
like any of the things that I wanted to talk about, they're really not going to work because it's too dark already.
Sorry, man. I just was like,
Like I was going to say, hey, you're a married man. Uh,
hmm
you've got a spouse. Like, do you guys have any like, you know, pet names for each other, like Honey or, you know, Pumpkin,
no,
stuff like that. And
not really.
you know,
She she calls me her old man, and I call her my old lady.
the old classic.
It's like, oh,
Yeah,
my old man lost his job down at the tire factory, so we're
right.
gonna have to take out a second mortgage.
I used to
Or
call my wife. I used to call my wife BTK.
That's another classic.
We kind
That's
of
a good
grew
one.
apart.
Yeah, yeah.
It
That
didn't work
happened.
out.
Did that happen after you grew apart, or because of it?
Hard to say.
Was she familiar with the BTK?
And then I was gonna say, do you think that Camilla and Dr. Jill Biden are actually the same person?
Who?
Camilla?
Like Camilla Cosby?
No, like Camilla, the wife of the king.
The
Isn't that the
wife?
king's? Isn't that the
Oh,
king's wife's
Camilla,
name?
the British. Uh, is that Prince or Prince Charles, King Charles's concubine? Isn't that what they call her?
I thought it was. Is it not his spouse?
Maybe it's his spouse. I feel like they call her something like kind of that, like it's considered derogatory in
Oh, is
American
it
English.
BTK?
Like I think they call her the concubine maybe in the media, and then he, like when they're hanging around like pillow talk around the house, he calls her BTK, I think.
Because of because it's like one of those things where you say somebody's bad, and you would know they really mean that they're good, or
Right.
like, curly and he's bald or something, it's like a well, that one
Shorty,
that doesn't really work.
shorty,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
like some,
but like
or
the
tiny.
affectionate ones,
They call it's tiny. That's what they do. They call you
or like
tiny if you're like a big 300-pound man.
yeah, there's like some country song where the guy says he's a real bad boy, but it doesn't mean that he's like a murderer or a serial killer. He just means like he's a cool guy.
Mm.
So when King Charles calls Camilla BTK,
Hmm.
he just means she's super sweet.
Right. I wouldn't. To answer your question, I wouldn't know her if I bumped into her on the street. So I don't know if they're the same person.
I think they're
Uh,
the same person. When you look at them side by side, they're the same.
Interesting. I
And
never saw that.
but see, that's all too. It's kind of hard. It falls flat after talking about executions.
I'm
It's kind of
sorry
harsh.
I'm sorry if I brought a topic that blows the doors off.
Hey, let's
You know.
lighten it up with some listeners' comments.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, just a couple things here. Um, Several people wrote in and said that we never mentioned Jerry Cantrell. He's not a
Mm.
horrible Jerry. He's a cool Jerry. He's a good Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice, one of the best.
yeah. Didn't Jerry Cantrell kill Lane Staley though?
No, his cats did, is my
Mm.
understanding.
Jerry Cantrell
Um,
cats.
this one was a little Well, then someone said that they're getting peeping Tom vibes from Tom, like you're a creep, you know. And then this one was a
Nobody
little,
said that. Nobody said
yeah,
that.
in the YouTube comments.
No, they did.
And then they could have been joking, but I think it's serious. Speaking of serious comments, there was one that was it kind of made me sad. It's from a listener, Nico von Hagar. I don't think that's their real name, so it's safe to say probably.
Van
I
Hagar?
come. Oh, von
You don't
Hagar.
get it.
I get
You're
it.
not getting it. It's Nico von Hagar.
Hagar is a name in the Torah. Hagar is like
He's also
Abraham's wife,
Hagar the Horrible.
but it's pronounced Hagar. And so I saw that. That's what I thought. I was just thinking, yeah, like Van Hagar
I think so.
is,
I am
yeah. What
if I were to guess, what they
what
have
about
to say.
that? What about the Nico part though?
That's Nick, the Velvet Underground, and Nico. It's somebody with a who likes music. If I were to guess,
Oh
it's
yeah,
person,
yeah, yeah.
and they're
Pro-
creating this mashup of musical
yep,
personalities.
that makes sense.
If I were to guess, or
Well,
maybe
unfortunately,
yeah.
for them, they said they come from a long line of shy bladder folks. I have a shy bladder, my father has a shy bladder, and his father before him had one as well. So they've
Okay.
been dealing with that whole horse trough thing for generations.
Well, that
I
is
thought that was
sad
worth. And
to
then
hear.
the last one was we've got several listeners named Jason, and there was one previously who wrote in and said, "Tom seems cool, and I don't seem like I know what I'm doing."
Hmm.
He has changed his tune though now, and he now writes in and says, um, "Tom, oh, he said Tom is hard R retarded, and everything Jerry does is gold. Is Tom a British cigarette or what?" So that's what he said about you.
Sounds
Jason
like
said that about you.
sounds like I'm winning. To me,
I guess.
like
I don't know. I thought we should check in before you went on your trip, and I got a handful of things, but they don't feel like they fit really. Is smoked Gouda and cold crisp grapes hands down the best snack of all time, or is it
that's a
something else?
that's a good one. I like that snack. I don't have anything to argue with you about that.
Okay, mark that off the list.
Yeah, check that one off.
Uh, Pet names for spouse. Um, Something light. Like if the office cleaning people start getting real lazy about emptying your trash, do you
Hmm.
think it would be a fun idea to kind of prank them with like so that the next time they do come and get your trash, it's kind of a weird experience for them. Like you could go to your barber and get a bunch of hair and
Yeah,
then like mash it up with ketchup and beets and then like fill your trash can with that.
that would be a prank.
Stupid.
I don't know how I'd feel about. I spent some time in the custodial arts, and I don't know how much I would appreciate that, but
That's the
I might.
idea though, right? It's like
Well, then just be prepared to have a prank played on you as well.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, there
Uh,
was a yeah. Um yeah, so I heard Alec Baldwin doing an NPR commercial the other day, and I was thinking,
about
isn't he in
firearm safety.
well, no, I thought he was in prison for murder. Isn't he a
Well,
murderer?
he's not in prison yet. I think they decided that he was a murderer, but I don't think he's in prison yet.
So if he's asking for donations for like his NPR show, are you just contributing to his legal fund?
Maybe he needs help in his legal funds so that they don't put the gas mask on him.
Judas.
He's kind of he. You could say that he's an executioner.
Yeah. He was the judge, jury, and executioner when he
That's
put his
right.
finger on that trigger.
And it was all his fault. I would imagine that that gun was loaded and live, as I understand it.
Um, Yay or nay?
Yeah,
You find a used condom in the parking lot at work and you put it on a coworker's desk for a practical joke. Yay or nay?
probably wouldn't do that.
I would never do that, but somebody did that where I work.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they get
It,
some gloves or something?
hey, I think you left something out in the parking lot.
Oh, did he come and like frame it up like
Yeah.
that? Like just to make sure that the guy noticed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted the credit for it, you know. He didn't
Yeah.
want to do it like an anonymous thing.
Right. Right. I mean, I guess I can have some respect for that.
The just the boldness.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be left wondering who did it.
Right.
If like maybe it was a like hate, like a comment on like I don't like you, so I'm gonna do the
Like a
no.
hateful, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like all of a sudden the cops are around at looking into a hate crime.
right. So
Yeah.
so like along the same lines, he might like decide I'm gonna take a shit on Jimmy's desk, and then he'd do that, and then just to make sure that he gets credit for it, he'd come in when Jimmy gets to work and be like, "Looks like someone left something on your desk."
Looks like the cleaning people missed a spot last night.
Right, right.
Unbelievable. Ridiculous. Just
You know,
you never know.
he might
Uh
be Nico von Hagar.
I don't know, we could call it, or I could ask you one more. To me, the Earth seems round, but
Hmm.
I kind of grew up with that. But can you prove that it isn't flat? Like, are you able to prove it's not flat?
I have personally, I can't say that. I feel like I've seen the curvature of the Earth at high altitudes.
Hmm.
You know,
Same here. And then I had a flat earther said that, well, that's the windows. When you get close to the edge of the windows, then it bends.
but what if I wasn't looking through a window
Hot air balloon.
or just up on a mountain?
They would say, how come there's no footage of this stuff?
Hmm. I don't know, man.
I
I
wondered about like I've flown from, the Midwest, east to New York, east to Europe, east to Israel, and I think that I could continue to fly east to like China and then
hmm
east to California and then back east to the Midwest, and I would wonder like
that would prove it.
I thought it would.
Yeah, that would prove it.
People still argue with that too though.
I don't. To me, those people are idiots.
Someone the other day said so when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, did they go around under India and Africa and past the United States to
Hmm
get over there to where it is
Right,
since it's flat?
right. I don't know when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor what route they took, but
Yeah,
I
I was
would
just
think that
taking a guess.
it would. I think that you could use that maybe as evidence to prove that the Earth is round as well.
Yeah, it seems obvious, but as soon as you think you know something, surprise.
Yep. Thought you knew something. What about? I was thinking about some conversation that I had had with an Italian business partner one time, and I asked him, um, "Are you friends with your workers?" He owns a business over in Italy, and he said very wisely, I felt like, friendly but not friends.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Right?
think you do. I think there are circumstances when just naturally a normal friendship will come from it, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But probably in general, it's good to keep. That's it's. I don't know,
Friendly but not friends. I liked it.
but he's the boss.
He's the boss. That was the
Okay,
that
that's
was
different.
kind of the context of the question because
Yeah, I missed it because I
I
was
mean, let you
reading
know.
my notes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
because you were.
I'm not talking with the gaggle at his business when I'm over there, like the people, the grunts. You know,
Yeah,
I'm talking
you're
with. talking with the boss, you know.
The 1% hangs out with the 1%.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, he also thought it was amusing the American term. We had to let someone go. There's not a lot of firing of employees that occurs in Italy, and so they heard us talking about letting someone go, and they thought that that was entertaining, I'd never really thought about the the actual words. Like you're just letting. We're gonna let you go. We're just gonna let you go do your thing.
You're free now.
Right,
Fly
right,
away.
right. It's a positive spin on it.
Yeah, we're good at that.
I think so.
We're good at saying things in a way that's not really true about what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting a positive spin on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, should people, I don't know, drill a hole in the like button or something? What should they do? Run it through when I was, well, no, I already did thinly slice. I was picturing like a deli slicer, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but we've already done that. What else could you do to a like button that would destroy it, that would smash it and destroy it? Well, when I was a little kid, I was at a friend's house and we found his dad's hammer in the garage, and we took it out on the driveway and we just started hitting it on the concrete and
Mm-hmm.
making sparks fly. And then
Yeah,
we would say, they just don't make it like they used to every time we take a chip out of the concrete. His dad
I
was
love that.
pissed. But you could do that to the like button.
You could, you could, you could like strap a gas mask on that like button
Hmm.
and
I wondered if you were going to go there.
deprive it of oxygen
For 22 minutes, the like
for
button.
22 minutes, and then watch it writhe for like 10 or 20 minutes after that for a while. You could do
Wow.
that to the button. I don't know how
No,
successful our like button campaign has been. I saw that we were up to 18,000 subscribers, and we had I think it was 350,000 views.
but
But
only like 84 likes.
yeah, there's not a lot of likes there.
It's weird to have that many subscribers, views, and then, yeah. But we don't have any thumbs down
I did notice we don't have any thumbs down, but I just wonder with the
yet.
lack of the likes. Is it like, do people feel like they're being, like they don't have a choice, like they're being forced to watch and subscribe?
I don't think so. I think they like it.
They do. Okay.
All
Well,
right, man. Have a
if they
good
liked
trip.
it, you'd think they'd hit the like button, right?
A little bit more.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe it's tough love, and they're saying, guys,
Yeah. You need to tighten
remember
it
what
up.
Bruce Lee said. Go the extra step, a little more than 98% water.
Right.
Give us what we want. We want more.
I think that's totally fair. I think that's fair. I think we have some work to do.
All right. This has been it for Arguing with Tom and Jerry. We love
I'm
you all.
Jerry. He's Tom.
And I'm Jerry.
Tom.
And I'm Tom.
He's Jerry.
If I send you a ticket, would you come?